Hey guys, it's your boy Vladis here, and today they just unveiled or released Lazy Peon. This entire interview got dropped today. I have a lot to say about this, and I am, oh God, I think, oh, the copium is a little too high for me right now, so just bear with me, okay? This might be, you might be in for some very hard glazing when it comes to Intrepid, when it comes to design, when it comes to openness, just a lot of that stuff. So if you're not into the whole, positivity and ashes, then, this video might not be for you. However, this interview from Lazy Peon was so good. Lazy Peon is the GOAT when it comes to knowing his audience. He knows that there's probably a lot of hardcore Ashes people that watch him, but there's also a lot of people, and I've discussed this on my stream so many times, that there are very casual MMO lookers that watch Lazy Peon videos for upcoming MMOs and just sort of gauge the temperature. And I think this particular interview gives such not only a good insight into the development process, but also just an insight into Steven. And I think Steven has always done a tremendous job just being himself and being open and being vulnerable and being just very candid about his experience and being a nobody in the gaming world to then being an actual critical player, in my opinion. It really just reinvigorated more of my passion for this project, for MMOs, for things in general. And, I was talking to some guildies about this, but I remember in 2006 when I picked up WoW for the first time, the nostalgia, the powerful nostalgia, wherever you came from MMO wise, it could be ArcAge, it could be Lineage 2, it could be UO, it could be EverQuest, it could be RuneScape. I don't really care, but there is very much of who I am because of the MMO genre and where I stand as a person today. And Steven said something very much in the same vein, and I completely agree. I mean, what's so nuts about what I'm doing in Ashes of Creation right now as a tester, I'm fucking addicted, man. Like, I play every single day on a class I don't enjoy, and I play every single day. It blows my mind. And again, I'm probably going to switch my main up, but the Ranger, in my opinion, still needs a lot of evolution, right? We're still in the ape status, right? We need a long way to go until we get to human status. And I just can't believe of how addicted I am to some of these game loops, especially when it comes to econ. I think Corey and his team have done a tremendous job with the look, the feel. As a miner and as a herbalist, I feel addicted. I'm just addicted. Tree chopping is also just so freaking satisfying, man. It's just everything I've done outside of hunting. Hunting is the one thing I truly have not done. And I think I'm just going to wait on that to evolve more into what they want hunting to be, because right now you're just kind of petting hunts. However, the process of getting these materials and then wanting to craft something and then finding the right crafter, whether it be in your guild, and maybe in your guild they don't have the right recipe. So then what do? You look elsewhere, you go and talk to other guilds. And I have not been more social in the past probably 10 years of WoW than I have been social in this playtest of an unfinished MMORPG. And that should be very telling to players. That should be very telling to testers. I feel as this Alpha 2 keeps evolving, I am going to get more and more addicted. I am going to get further and further in this rabbit hole of addiction. And I have a baby coming, I have a wife, I have kids. I can't afford to be this hardcore addicted in a game, but man, does it feel so freaking good. I really want to applaud Intrepid for, staying the course. And there's been a lot of negative feedback. There's been a lot of, people and content creators, who I'm talking about, providing a lot of misinformation, completely false and infactual. And I feel like there is a sleeping giant that will soon be awakened. because Ashes of Creation they're keeping their heads down, and they've been working and working and working. And, you know, when I was looking at this interview and I was seeing it, how Lazy Peon constructed these questions from a casual viewer's perspective, not a hardcore Ashes that's in the know. And it was really cool to see some of the answers that Steven said. And I really want to go over one bit of information that, you know, I was kind of speculating that Steven literally affirmed I was, you know, affirmed in my confirmation that a biome a month is pretty much what their trajectory is going to be. And he basically said by the end of the summer that we should be finished with this continent, the current continent we are on with the Riverlands. Now there's 8 biomes in this Western continent in total, you know, so he basically mentioned that right now we have the Riverlands, you know, within a month they were able to completely finish the desert biome. And of course, you know, they still have to plop in the nodes, but the actual whole biome is there for people to go and explore. And then in the month of March, which is this month, they're going to completely flesh out the tropics, which I think the tropics, I really do believe that probably is going to have either 3 to 4 nodes. I don't think the tropics is going to be a 5 node biome. And then we're going to go from in April to the June dark. And April's supposed to finish the June dark. And then in May, we're going to go to the anvils. Man, oh God, dude. I've been telling my stream, and I've been trying to keep my brain from going down the copium rabbit hole because I want to keep as much realistic expectation as possible. But Steven is literally not making it. He's making it so hard for me right now. That's what she said. But anyway, I've always said that this game was always 2 to 3 years away. And then I kind of shifted to 3 to 4 years away. And now I'm thinking, man, maybe we just had very efficient studios. Like, and again, look how inefficient, like, I won't even go there. I was going to say, look how inefficient our government is, right? But I don't want to get political. My whole point is, what if when it comes to MMORPGs, these AAA titles, what if they've just been inefficient at making them? What if there's always been this bureaucracy to it? What if there's always been a visionless team working on this amorphous project that kind of gets shifted from one way to another, and it takes all these 7 or 8 years because they just couldn't focus? What if that's been what's going on? It happened with New World. It happened with Throne of Liberty. So, you know, when Steven was talking in this interview, he mentioned having a leader with vision. And Steven has literally had this vision since 2017, actually circa 2017, and it hasn't changed. There hasn't been no scope creep. There hasn't been no secret features added to Ashes of Creation. It's still the same feature set that we had in 2017 up until now. It's really wild. It blows my mind. And the more and more and more I think about it, I know there's probably over 25 to 30 systems in Ashes of Creation that are very in-depth, very involved. But man, not only are we going to continue to get biomes once a month, which is pretty insane, we could also have, of course, iterations of other systems. We're going to get the introduction potentially of naval probably at the end of April or in May. We're probably going to start getting more archetypes, right? We're going to have the rogue, which is the end of this month. We're going to have the summoner, and they said the summoner could be done within 3 to 4 months, which is kind of insane. So if it's going to be in May, 3 to 4 months, that's probably end of summer, which is kind of crazy. I don't know, guys. Like, to me, I'm not saying that I'm changing my tune, but God, I might be changing my tune. You know what I'm saying? Like, this was a lot to ingest. As an Ashes of Creation player, as someone who's been testing this game since phase 1, plays pretty much every single day, is in the know, talk to a lot of people, go to a lot of Discords, a lot of guilds. I don't see how you could watch this interview and not get really excited. You know, and I knew that Intrepid held this kind of what's the word? I had it in my mind and I lost it. Of course I did. But they had an internal kind of like roadmap presentation. God, I have it in my brain. What's the word? Okay, let me just move on. But internally they had this thing where they kind of broke down their kind of whole patch set and what they kind of want and hopefully will put into the game. Now, we do know that there were certain things that were in phase 2 that I got pushed to phase 3, and that's totally understandable. That happens a lot in game dev. But imagine, and again, I've always said this, we will know how quick this game will come out by the end of this year. And I truly mean that. So could you imagine, not only do we have the entire Western continent done by the end of summer, but potentially already working and have other biomes on the other continent and have like a base 1.0 version of naval in the game. We have the rogue archetype. We have the summoner archetype. We have an entire continent to play with like potentially over like 45 nodes. This is wild. Like I've been processing all this information since this interview today, and I keep getting hyped. I keep getting excited because of the potential of the actual reality that's at stake here. And I really wanted to make this video and just share this with you guys, because I feel like Ashes of Creation is on the verge of not only making a great MMO, which we all freaking knew, but also putting potentially a lot of other studios to shame, in a sense. And look, people can scoff at me and be like, hey, Vlad, well, this project has already been in development for 8 years. Like, what are you even talking about? What's crazy to me is the amount of content that's going online as quickly as it is, while we're actually simultaneously testing this game. And again, they've been creating tools and systems all these years. And again, I will say this for the record. I have always said, I won't say that, but I have believed, and I think I'm going to say that, my tinfoil hat theory, they didn't truly start actual like building the game until the transition to UE5. I think in UE4, they had basically like a test ground for their zones and everything like that to get everything going. But I believe they really made the transition of this is now our MMO when the UE5 jump happened. So that, to me, in my opinion, was day one of actually putting, not just pen to paper, but, paper to pixels, basically. And that to me is very important, because the entire construct of them making those tools, testing those tools, seeing what they can do for certain systems, how those systems will evolve and work. And again, when he was talking about one of the older node systems and how that had several reiterations based on their internal testing and how they thought something was going to work, it actually didn't work out and it had to change the course. And I think it was really important, because I think Lazy Piano also said it too. We don't know how game dev works. And I know there's a lot of armchair, gamers out there that think they know how it works, but we really don't. And for me, as someone who's been very open to my viewers and to the people that watch me on stream, I've also said this, I'm not a game dev. That's why I talk to game devs. Like, I have avenues to talk to them. So I ask them questions and I say, hey, is this like par for the course? Is this something that you would pretty much see in the development process? And they're like, oh yeah, sure. Or that's actually quite fast, or that's usually not how we do it, but whatever, right? Like, I want to educate myself on these things. I don't think a lot of people do. But again, I will say that this interview was so enlightening, and also it was hype. It was just really hype. And, I want to applaud, of course, Lazy Peon for always being there, because honestly, if it wasn't for his video, I wouldn't be in this community right now. I think many of us watching this video would not be in this community right now if it wasn't for his video. So Steven, great job with your interview with him too. It was just great. I cannot wait. I've been so freaking addicted to this game. I can't stop playing. I really enjoy this, especially coming from a WoW player that wanted to leave that community so freaking bad. And honestly, I have not had this much fun like in an MMO in such a long time. I thought I was having fun in WoW, but it's the friends I've made, the contacts I've made, the people that I have, in my life now because of this game has been tremendous. And I just can't wait for the evolution, the continual evolution of this game, and how much more fleshed out it's going to be, and how much smoother. And just, he said it, like, this is the worst you're going to see Ashes of Creation. And I have to agree, because when I played phase 1 into now, it's a whole other game. And they've been putting a lot of the feedback that we've been saying that we don't like, and putting stuff in the game that we do like. It's been really refreshing. what a change of pace, what a concept. But guys, what did you think about this Lazy Peon interview? What are your thoughts? Like, what was the best moment in the interview for you? What was the worst moment? I would love to know down in the comment section. But up until now, I will see you on the next one. Take care, guys.